Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Season 2, Week number 3 of OCL. My name is Diceheart. I'm joined tonight on the cast by Snowy and Vintage. Say hello, boys.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Vintage.
That's Vintage.
Hi, I'm Lath.
Oh, Lath's here too. Hi, Lath. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Thanks for introducing me.
This is Vintage, by the way.
Hi.
So tonight we've got a few sets that are on. We've got first up for the night, Dande Demons versus Shell Shock. That should be a pretty interesting one. What do you reckon, boys?
I think
Yeah,
it
it could be a
pretty
good set.
game.
Man, I really should have given it to one of you instead of all three of you.
Yeah. I think the consensus was the same. Should
yeah.
be a good set.
Everyone pretty much agreed on that one, so I'm happy about that. And our second set for the night will be OBB versus Puri. And I've definitely heard that there's going to be some interesting strats coming out from both teams, but probably definitely OBB going to bring out some spice, I reckon.
I can see OV bringing a bit of the pepper to this game.
They tend to bring the pepper, hey.
Yeah, especially on these less make or break games. They're not above a saucy little pick or two.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, while we're here, let's have a quick peep over at the Demons team, as they will be playing in our first set tonight. We have Abs Pro in the solo lane, Daddy Melbs in jungle, Endless in mid, Jed9 in support, and Tiger Max in ADC. I feel like we've spoken about these guys a few times, and there's obviously some fan favourites there. Who are you looking out for tonight, Lath?
Yeah, look, I could talk about these guys all day. I'm well known. I'm a big fan of Melbs and Jed. I've known those guys for a long time back in my PS4 in-house days. And I could rave about them all the time. Melb's a really big playmaker. Not above a very out there strat or two. You know, loves some off picks. His Alquang, his Thor. And then Jed, just a really good support. Likes to make his presence known across the map. So those are my two big people I like to watch. But I mean, I can't look past Abs in that solo lane as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Abs by far and away the fan favourite on the stream, I have to say, is one of the fellow casters that we've got, and obviously a fantastic solo laner. Melbs has been a highlight player of recent. He's been playing so well on his picks like the Thor, for example, which we don't see picked very often. And Jet
Yeah, it's
9,
really
yeah,
only Melbs with that Thor, but he definitely makes it his own.
yeah, that's very true. And obviously Jed has been rated as one of the best supports at the moment as well. So really keen to see how these guys go tonight into Shell Shocked.
Yeah, like I said, always happy to talk about these guys. Always happy to watch them play too. So I'm very keen for this set.
100%. Well, I reckon that we should probably bring in Endless, who we have available for an interview, and have a quick chat with him about what their plan is for tonight and how things are going with the team.
Oh, I'd love to have a chat with Lucas.
Hello there, Endless. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good. It's exciting to have you here for this interview. How's things going on the old Dande Demons at the moment?
Yeah, things are going really good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how the team's going so far.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that because obviously the Dandy Demons built different last season. Basically the exact same roster, obviously swapping Carter out for you. You've been together for a couple of weeks now. Everything meshing well. You know, good mentals, good communication.
Yeah, I'd say so. Coming in was easy because I teamed with Abs Pro for a while, so got that synergy with the solo laner. Yeah.
And yeah, tell me a bit about Abs and Melbs. Two people I want to ask because they seem to me like they do try to run these games pretty hard. Is that kind of what you guys try to lean on, or is it more from this duo lane, or you even?
I'd say we lean a lot on Abs. It's pretty funny because their mentals are completely different, which is can make some interesting comms sometimes.
Yep, I can imagine.
Yeah, like as I say, I know Melbs pretty well, and I know all about that mental of his.
Yeah.
I did want to ask. I know the origin of the name Dande Demons, but for the sake of the stream, do you want to run everybody through why you guys are called Dande Demons?
We are called Dande Demons because there's a place in Melbourne called Dandenong, and majority of our team is based in Melbourne, and we kind of figured out that's almost the center point of where everyone's from.
Beautiful.
If you were to get all of our locations, it's almost dead even.
That's pretty interesting. I thought maybe you were going to say that you're all just from Dandenong. That would have been very odd if that was the case.
Thank God we're not from all Dandenong.
Well, tell me about this set. Have you guys had any sort of preparation going into Shell Shocked? A bit of a surgence from these guys as of late. You know, Didn't quite make the league last season. Got a couple of different roles into the team. You know, especially Dorcas, mainly in that solo lane. Have you had a bit of prep, bit of investigation into this team?
Yeah, we've had decent prep. We don't really know what they like, but we have a good idea of what we want tonight, and we'll play for that.
Yeah, I guess kind of before looking at the enemy, you want to look in on yourself. Very, very intelligent move, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Good to know. All right. Well, thank you very much for being here, and let's good luck with your set tonight. And yeah,
Thank you,
hope
man.
things go really well for you guys in the future.
I just want to
Can I ask a
shout
question?
out. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry, I know it's been a bit since you've played on a team. I just wanted to ask with this new roster, how much do you miss Strive?
Oh, dude, I miss Hayden, but he's off saving the country, so he's doing God's work.
Yeah, God
Yeah,
bless, God bless.
Big up, Strive.
Yeah.
Salutes in the chat.
Before I go, I just want to shout out Melbs' cat. He's a big supporter of us, so thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, big ups, Thomas the cat
All
too.
good. Thank
Yeah.
you, Thomas. All right. Cheers, and let's good luck tonight, man.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mm.
Exciting stuff. Obviously, a pretty well put together team, and they seem to be synergizing quite well with each other. And obviously, Anne was quite happy to integrate into that one alongside Abs.
Yeah, it's good to see, a long-time player like Endless come back into the scene into, a couple of newcomers and, they all just get along really well and, doing pretty well for themselves.
Love that for them. Well, let's have a look, pivot away from Demons for a little bit and have a look at this shell-shocked team as well. And as you mentioned in the interview with Endless, there's some interesting characters, namely Commando Chris in that solo lane making a bit of a return to the competitive scene alongside Azrael in jungle, Quickie in mid, Negative Noob in support, and Stuzzy, who I believe's named Char now in ADC.
Yes, that is correct. And yeah, a very interesting roster, as I mentioned in that interview. Didn't quite make the league. Had a couple of wins in the relegations, but not enough to break into the top 8. So, excited to see them actually come in. They started with Noob in that solo lane, but they picked up Chris, moved Noob over to support, and I think they've been looking so much better for it.
Yeah,
In my opinion, yeah, I think Chris is kind of the leading factor of this team. Azrael has been doing pretty well in the jungle for himself, I think. We saw in that last set he played, he was just everywhere in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, he was playing really, really well in jungle that set, and I was actually quite excited. And obviously, he's the player that kind of has brought this team together. So I would also expect that he's probably making a lot of the really critical shot calls as well from that role and in that position on the team.
Yeah, from what I am aware, that is the case. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what sort of not just shot calling but game presence he can bring this game, especially against a top tier jungler like Melbs.
100%. Now, I believe that we have Negative Noob will be coming in for the interview.
Yes, that is the correct Danship, as he is known on Discord.
All right, well, let's bring him in here for a quick chat. Negative Noob, how are you, my friend?
Hello, how you going?
Very,
Good,
very well.
sir, good.
Very excited to see you guys play tonight. You obviously had a pretty standout showing last week and managed to bring a very, very good set to us. How you feeling tonight going into this set?
Pretty quietly confident. I think we've finally had a bit of a chance to actually play together this last week. We have scrimmed them before. I've played a bit with Melbs and Jed back in the in-houses back in the day. So we'll see how it goes. And quietly confident. I think we can hopefully at least take one off them.
Sure, 100%.
Yeah, we do love to hear that. Yeah, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Endless just before. Have you done a lot of research about this team? Have you, organized a draft to verse them? Have you thought about picks you want to take away from them?
Yeah, we probably won't troll, and I think if he gets his starter item, that's probably the first thing we need to do.
As long as I see that starter item, I'm happy with him.
No, but in all seriousness, I think Jed kind of, we've scrimmed them and he pretty much ran the game. I've seen him do it in just about all the games he plays. So we've got to probably keep him down. I reckon if we can keep him down, I think we'll be good to go.
It's a good call.
Yeah, so target the support. Are you trying to match his rotations or play your own game in this set?
I think we got to play our own game. I don't think we'll beat them playing their game. They're well practiced and they've played together for a while. We've just got to bring what we can bring and what we've practiced, and hopefully it'll pay off.
Good call. And curious as well, we were kind of talking about it while we were introducing this team. Who it looks like sort of Azrael Black Kaiser is really doing a really good job in jungle, trying to be around the map and run the show a bit. Is he a shot caller, or are you kind of mixing it up a bit? Who's calling the shots for you guys at the moment on the team?
As yeah, probably calls the loudest between. It's a bit of everyone. Everyone kind of puts in their 2 cents, and I think Az probably talks the loudest, being the jungle, being all over the map like he was in those last 2 games. After he bought his starter, and then
Uh,
and then I think Chris as well. He's already talked him up a lot as well. But when he's going, he just he's zoning 3 people. Which makes calls very easy when he can get 3 people off the objective. So
yeah, that's an interesting point. Obviously, you played one set with Chris now, or was it two? I'm not too. Either way, how is Chris just integrating into this team?
yeah, no, he very well, man. Like he's got the experience that we probably kind of lack at this level. So yeah, no, he's helping us out for sure.
Yeah, good. I do love to hear that.
Absolutely brilliant. Snowy Vintage, anything you guys want to ask?
I'm just wondering, I've seen in the casuals, will the Chronos support be coming out?
I don't think the Chrono support will come out this set, but you never know.
Okay.
But
Okay. I'm sorry for intruding.
We might be more likely to see Chris pick up the Chronos, I reckon.
It is his iconic profile pic. But yeah, good luck in the set, man.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, and yeah, thank you very much for being here for this interview. Hope things go well for you this week and for the following weeks. Good luck, man.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Good luck, Dan.
Cheers.
See you guys. Thanks.
Well, there you go. Negative Noob from Shell Shocked, and another team that seemed to be meshing together quite nicely. Sorry, and a lot of players that have kind of played together for a while, and obviously Commando Chris, as Dan said, bringing a lot of that sort of competitive knowledge from his past in for those guys.
Yeah, I think it's definitely what this team was lacking. All relatively solid players between them. But you could be one of the best players in OC, but when you step up to that competitive level, it's a real, eye opener. If you don't have that experience, sometimes it'd be really hard. Making the right calls can be hard. So I am glad to see Chris, kind of mesh really well with that team, and obviously just bring that competitive edge that he has.
I have to agree with you there, and I mean Chris is someone that I used to play with on a team way back in the day, and I've seen that man absolutely pop off, and we saw him last week doing really well. So excited for this set 100% of the time.
Yeah, he's always menaced me back when I used to play solo and casuals. I hated seeing his name pop up, so glad to see him here menacing people in competitive.
Yeah, thank God it's not me at the moment. I'm terrified of that set coming up for ourselves.
Yeah, Vem can deal with him. Thanks, I'm not sitting in solo that
Yeah,
game.
it sounds like a J-Beto problem, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I don't imagine that it'll be too long before we get into picks and bans between these two teams now that we've finished up with the interview chat. Curious, though, which direction do you think this set is going to go in, just based on the performance of these teams at the moment, Lath?
Look, based on performance, I do have to favour the Dande Demons. A lot of comp experience there, a lot of really good players, a lot of players who have known each other for a long time between, Abs and Endless, and then obviously Melbs and Jed, and then even Tiger playing with that team last season. So, I think experience-wise, I have to give it to them, but I expect these Shell Shock boys to give them a run for their money, especially with Chris just running games like he has been.
Yeah, I would go as far as saying it could be a 2-1 here. I think Shell Shocked have been making a fantastic showing recently, and if you give Chris an inch, he takes a mile. So
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past pushing to a 2-1 here at all.
I have to agree. So very excited for that. And do you reckon any particular picks you're expecting to come out other than the Chronos? Maybe a Thor?
Yeah, look, I'm not too sure. Melb's gold pool is very interesting. Not above playing his Alquang or Thors even when they're not meta, but I mean, he can play meta really well too. I'm seeing a little resurgence of Carly, not like she really went away lately, and even Nemesis, and I know Melbs can play both of those really well, and then of course you just got the meta slave that is Jed himself. So I wouldn't be expecting to see anything but like your Moja and Kepri if they're open.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I mean, his Emoja is an absolute menace. Rivals
Yep.
rivals some of our own in OCU pretty comfortably. So I think he's going to absolutely pop off on that one if they let him let him get his hands on that one for sure.
As far as shell shock though, I'm not too sure. I mean, I know that Chris on that Osiris was menacing.
Yep.
As looks so good on the Cabrakan, and even the Yu Huang. We saw 2 games of Yu Huang from shell shock last week. So and Quickie looked pretty comfortable on them. So wouldn't put it too past them running that back. I'm not too sure about Stuzzy. Obviously didn't play last week. Schmitty was
Yeah,
filling in
subbing
for
in.
that set.
Yep.
We did see the Chernobog out of Schmitty that looked very good. I'm not too sure if Stuzzy's had the practice on that Chernobog. But either way, I'm sure that'll probably be one of the highest contested picks. You know, Tiger Max loves that pick. He also loves not rotating.
Yeah.
So Chernobog, very good pick for him because it enables him to not rotate and then just suddenly be in a team fight.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Chernobog being favoured pretty much all weekend and a lot of last week as well as a top pick and ban within OCL for exactly that reason. Being able to have that pretty much free split push to a Phoenix and still being able to come to a Fire Giant fight is so potent. Although, you know, I am curious to see in which direction Tiger Max chooses to build that Chernobog if he manages to get his hands on it. I'm expecting a lot of lifesteal picked up for him, though.
My apologies, Darcy. I missed that last sentence.
I was just saying that I think that Tiger's going to build a lot of lifesteal.
Yeah, look. I think that the reason why Chernobog is so good, obviously, aside from his big rotation capabilities, is the fact that Failnot has seen a big resurgence back in the ADC. And Chernobog, to ult, you have to go to an enemy. So no matter what, you're putting that Failnot passive onto an enemy. It's actually unavoidable. So as long as that item's meta, I think he's meta. Plus, like, he uses the stats of it so well. He's such a good user of crit, especially with that 2 ability, being able to crit as well. So yeah, I think that is a big part of it. But I wouldn't expect anything but triple lifesteal from Tiger Max.
No, neither would I. But I mean, maybe he can make it work in his favor, get an Atalanta's and Failnot, and at least get some crit on board as well, potentially.
Well, yeah, Atalanta's Failnot both work pretty well together, to be fair.
All right. Well, while we're waiting, maybe we'll have a quick peep over towards the ladder as it stands at the moment. This is as of the start of this week, so no changes yet from the most recent matches. But we do still have Chickens and OBB sitting at the top, and I believe Chickens, you guys won your set this week 2-0 pretty handily, so you should stay at the top of the ladder coming into next week.
That is correct. Yeah, Chickens are 6-0, and what would that make it? 9, 3 points. Yep, 6-0 and 9 right now
at the moment. Yep. OBB currently tied in first place, but their position at the end of this, after this set tonight, will be the determinant for whether or not they end up in second place or tied for second place potentially.
Yeah, I think OBB are pretty solid right now, and most likely expecting them to hold on to that first place after this week.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing that I really want to talk about is the Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles falling to Bi-Gravity Finance there, which was very unexpected this week. And not just like unexpected, but a 2-0 in favor of Bi-Gravity Finance.
Yeah.
Which you know, a lot of teams really favoring that Desto's team. You know, a lot of good old experienced comp players on that team, especially from Vintage and Destinate. So a bit of a shocker to see them fall down, especially in that sort of fashion.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I don't know whether it was you know, Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles, you know, losing the set, or if it was Bi-Gravity's fantastic showing there to earn themselves that set. I mean, Juki played so well in the solo lane out of Bi-Gravity there, and really did what he could to you know, earn them that position and that 2-0 there.
Oh yeah, we cannot understate how well Dookie played. You know, 74k damage on that Shiva solo, just basically ran the game. It's insane how much work he put in to get him that 2-0, really.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was one of the most exciting sets this week as well, and definitely, I wouldn't call it an upset, but well, we talked about it yesterday on the cast. Very likely going to change some power rankings there, I'd say.
Yeah. Can't wait to see Corb on the rise in that mid lane.
Oof.
You know, but I mean that is another thing that we haven't. I'm not too sure how much you guys mentioned it before, because I'm pretty sure you were unaware of the change heading into the set, but the mid and jungle swap between Corb and Bandboy.
Yes.
Which you know, to be fair, I think a very smart move. Bandboy's playstyle just favors that assassin kind of class a lot more than the mages in mid because he often finds himself out of position trying to hunt down kills.
Yeah.
So putting him in a role that literally does that just makes sense to me, and Corb's such a playmaker in whatever role he's in, so stick him there and he'll play it well.
Have to agree with you there, and I mean, now you're talking about mid lane, and even if we look at the teams tonight, but especially just across the board, I think all of our mid laners really are providing a lot for the teams. Oh, we should be just about ready though to get into picks and bans for this set. So
Perfect.
let's jump straight into not that one, this one. That was close. Didn't spoil anything? Nah, didn't spoil anything. Okay. Let's see, Dandy Demons in that first pick position here. Curious as to what they're going to opt to take off the table. Looks like the Dande, first of all, off the table for Dandy Demons.
Yes, my pick. Az has been playing it quite a fair bit. I think most sets, aside from a couple of Kabrakan and Osiris games,
Yep.
has mostly been playing that Daji. So banning that away nice and early makes absolute sense to me.
Is that better, by the way, for you?
Yep.
Yep. And it looks like Shell Shocked are going to opt towards removing the Emoja from Jed 9 as well, and probably a good call based on the conversations we've already had about Jed.
Yeah, I think we've already touched on that. Jed, very good player in support, very good player on Yamoja. Put 2 and 2 together and he's going to win a game. So
Yep.
makes sense. Freya for the Danny Demons. I say this all the time. I'm starting to lean away from it now, but I say it all the time. Banning Freya from first pick makes no real sense to me. Second pick are basically guaranteed in OCE to ban that Freya. I think it's a waste of a ban, especially in the second ban slot phase. You could save it for the third, but Shell Shock most likely going to ban Freya, and if not, most teams are going to take it. I do think Freya's on the way out.
Yeah.
I don't think she's that top prio anymore, but a lot of OCs still kind of lean on it.
We are seeing a lot of players now opting towards some alternate magical ADCs like the Soul and the Oleron rather than picking up that Freya, regardless of whether or not she's banned. So I think I have to agree with you there. We do see Kepri taken away by Shell Shocked as well, really trying to target out Jed there.
Yeah, smart move. I mean, as I said leading into this, you know that he's going to play Yamoja or Kepri if they're open. Absolute meta slave that Jed is. So banning what you know if someone's going to play, always a smart move, especially when those picks are good.
Yeah, 100% have to agree with you. And Lancelot being taken away from Dandy Demons as well. They must have a pick in mind because getting rid of the Freya and the Lance and the Daji, they're definitely strong bans to take away, but normally gods that you want to pick for yourself in that first pick position other than maybe the Daji.
Yeah, I mean, Chernobog, still available. As I said, Tiger loves that pick, and it also just allows him to sit in lane for as long as possible.
Taken away now by Shell Shocked.
Which is now no longer on the table. I'm not sure the Nemesis is open for Melbs if he wants to play it. I mean, the magical ADC, like you stated, Oleron, Soul, both open. Both find a first pick. I guess Soul probably a lot safer to first pick as it is the Oleron hover.
It is the
But I
Oleron
get-
hover.
Yeah, going for Oleron so early, doesn't make a great deal of sense to me. There's so many counter picks that you can pick into it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, strong pick. So I guess making sure Shell Shock don't get it, it's always a good move.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of counter picks that you can now get here, potentially a Camazotz or maybe a Vamana for old man Chris, but now it makes sense why they got rid of that Lancelot and maybe even the Freya to give Oleron as much of an advantage and remove some of those counter picks early on.
About that one, because if you remember, we saw a Freya versus Oleron.
We did see a Freya versus
last week,
Oleron.
and there was a very, very interesting interaction between the two ultimates. So
all I've heard this week is that interaction and complaints about that. But I mean, I'm not going to talk about it now. I'm sure there's someone around here who's probably a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure people can talk about it in their own time. As Shubalanke Ganesh hover, I like the Shubalanke. I'm always a fan of Shubalanke. I think he does what you want your hunter to do, and that's just pure raw damage.
Yep.
So I'm always happy with the Shubalanke hover. And Ganesh kind of the same thing. I mean, there's a very stock standard duo lane. This duo lane just does basically what you want. Ganesh peels really well, and Shubalanke just pumps numbies. So, I mean, I like it. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, Ganesh is a really, really strong backline presence, but he's also very good at creating space for his team, using that ultimate, the Why don't I
The
remember
Dharmic Pillars.
The Dharmic Pillars, thank you very much.
Yes, the highest damaging ability in the game.
Oh, is that the highest damaging ability in the game, left? That's really good.
Yes, it is. Just if people don't know.
We have, however, seen it being placed into more of a frontline position in the last few weeks. Some solo laners opting to pick that one up.
Yeah, which really making use of the fact that it is the highest damaging ability in the game. Is this Nemesis? I mean, I did call this. I said before, Melbs has these spicy picks, but he can also run a Nemesis or a Kali really well. So I have to assume that this one's 100% locked in, and I'm very keen to see Melbs play Nemesis.
Surprised that it made it to this point as well. Shellshock probably could have taken it away from Demons if they were comfortable to play it, but it is going to be locked in. Very likely for Danny Melbs out of jungle there.
Maybe not so comfortable for Az on the other side. As I said, I do think he likes more of those frontline and utility junglers. Horus, I love Horus here. I love seeing Jed play Horus. There's a very high kill lane between Horus and Oleron. And Jed just such a good user of Horus. He's just always in the right place. He's never afraid just to go in and try and set up on the enemy team. So I'm very excited for this. I'm loving Danny Demon's top 3 so far.
Such a strong dual lane presence there. This Shivalonke Ganesh are going to be forced under tower so early on.
Yeah, I'd have to assume lane pressure very much goes the way of Oleron Horus.
For sure. There's still a few interesting picks that are available here for this third pick slot, though. For Shellshock, looks like the Jade Emperor himself is going to be hovered here, and we talked about him a little bit earlier on the cast and during yesterday's sets as well.
Yeah, I did say that Quickie played 2 games of this Yu Huang and looked pretty comfortable on it. Had some really big dueling dragons in the jungle fights, so I'm pretty happy to see this one locked in.
You
And
just keep calling them tonight, don't you?
yeah, Oleron tries to ult Yu Huang, he just kind of banishes himself for a fair chunk of time and just floats his way on out of that ultimate. So, which speaking of that Oleron ultimate, the Ganesh. I've only just thought about this. The Ganesh is very rough into Oleron. If he gets put inside that sanctified field, he is in danger. There's nothing. I mean, but on the counter side to that though, if Ganesh uses his silence inside of the sanctified field, it will last for double the time.
A ridiculously long time.
So he could technically silence someone for a very long amount of time, and also that grab, if you somehow manage to get it off, considering the fact that your dash is a lot slower on the 3, you can hold someone in place for a very long time, allowing Shibalonke with those extended autos to hit from well outside sanctified field without any worry of missing.
Yeah, I do like that. Maybe Ganesh it's not too bad of a pick into the Oleron being able to extend out those abilities. I wonder if Dharmic Pillars last longer as well inside of that ult.
Yes, actually, it would. So as long as Ganesh isn't in this Oleron ult, he should be alright, because he can just dump those Dharmic Pillars the second Oleron ult comes out and just have it sit there for ages. So I don't mind this at all. It's just if Ganesh gets caught inside sanctified field and can't manage to dash or grab, or isn't in a position to use his kit inside the fields, could be very rough for him.
Bans coming out in the second phase from Dande Demons, taking away the Kali and the Rat, and Shellshock removing the Ula and the Chiron presence. So potentially both teams trying to remove some presence, but in different areas of the map, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I like both. Obviously, you've got that Oleron probably going, most likely going to the duo lane, ban the 2 hunters that play mid the best. I mean, obviously, AMC is still open if Dandy are looking to play that instead. But, Chiron, Ula bans always feel really good, and then Kali and Rat, Rat getting a lot of play, especially at the upper pro level. So, Hunbat's hover.
Interesting. We did see this do really well yesterday.
Okay, again, just like the Ganesh ult, I'm fairly certain Fear No Evil lasts for a lot longer in the Sanctified Field.
It's interesting. I wonder how that interaction works with the ticks on that ultimate, though. It's a bit of a strange interaction.
Yeah, I would assume that the ticks, like the damage ticks, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not too sure. That's a very interesting pick. I'd love to test this at some point in the lab.
I like the OCE are just barely coming to grips with Oleron. He was played last week, and then we're like, oh my god, interactions, because he doesn't stop getting picked up, and we do see that Humbat's locked in, so we might be able to test it out in this set.
Yeah, I'm keen to see. I'm hoping at some point he drops a Fear No Evil in the middle of Sanctified Field.
I guess we're going to find out how that interaction works, but I do like the comp that Shellshocked have drafted themselves. If you can ignore Sanctified Fields for a second, assume that they're able to force it out and it goes down, you have Shiva Longkaol, you've got Ganesh ult, and you've got Yu Huang and Humbats. There's a lot of CC and a lot of potential damage that can come out, and a lot of space control for this team comp.
Yeah, really strong jungle fight coming out of Shellshocked right now. I think the Danny Demons want to try their hardest to fight in lanes and not in that jungle.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, and they should be able to look for those positions as we see Baba Yaga being hovered. A god that we've seen every now and again. House kind of strong and stacking is decent for mid at the moment, alongside the King Arthur hover, probably going towards Chris here.
Okay. We know that Endless loves the Baba. Ganesh very strong into Baba. The second that she starts doing that what is it, the launch ability? I can't remember what it's called. The blast off. The second that Baba Yaga starts blast off, Ganesh instantly silences and her escape is gone, which is generally going to force her ultimate out or relics.
Yep.
So, I'm not too sure about this Baba. I think that Shellshocked have a really good comp of surviving Baba ultimate,
It has been locked in.
and they have a really good comp for stopping Baba blast off. So, and then even the Arthur, Ganesh really got into gods who want to use abilities a lot. All Arthur wants to do is just roll his face over a keyboard and hit every single ability he can on cooldown.
That's an accurate statement.
I can't believe that this Ganesh got picked, and then 4 picks were picked after it, and then Ganesh is good into all 4 of these picks. Because even Nemesis shuts down that Nemesis shield. The second she pops it, he just twos. Horus is very obvious about what he wants to do. You know, that dash takes a long time to charge up. People can see it coming a mile away. Ganesh can instantly hit 2 and boom, his dash is gone. All of his setup gone for, two or so seconds. The silence lasts for quite a long time. So I think that Ganesh being picked in the top 2 always questionable, but it's actually been picked into a really strong comp.
Yeah, I do love to see, this Ganesh going to be very likely getting a fair bit of value. I think the only issue that he's going to run into on this pick at the moment is how many things he has to get value off of, and potentially choosing the right targets.
I think this really comes down to Dan being able to pick the smartest time to use his silence and not just hitting it the second it's up. So, but I do love the Ganesh here, and then I love this last pick Odin, especially into the Oleron, especially into the Nemesis. I think Odin's a bit of a sleeper right now. OC is just starting to wake up to it. People like Yada have said it all the time about the fact that this is a really good pick, and I can't wait to see Chris playing this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are just about ready to get into game number 1 here between Dande, Demons, and Shellshocked. Before we throw over to the casters, based on these team comps, Lath, who do you think is taking this game?
Purely off team comp, Shellshock got this in the bag.
Okay, alright. Look, I'm gonna have to go with Demons just because you said Shellshocked.
We love a bit of back and forth here.
Well, let's hand straight over to the casters here. Vintage and Snowy, take it away, boys.
Hi, I'm Vintage from earlier from the stream, if you remember me, and this is Snowy.
Yeah, I'm the one that doesn't remember Vintage, but looks like we've got an interesting game on our hands. 2? I guess one team that would be considered to be on the upper end of the bracket, and the Dande Demons, looking at least in the top 6 teams. And then Shellshocked looking to be one of the lower end teams, but I do think that, with that being said, there's still potential for, Chris to pop off and really help his team out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they have a lot of potential to kind of run the lower side of the league and, try and take some good games to the top teams. And you heard Negative Nude talking in his interview. It seems like they have a really good mental for how they're going into these games, kind of knowing that they, they're not exactly the favorites, but they definitely do have the potential to win if they play their game.
Yeah, and I do think so. And I think a big part of their game plan here is really in lockdown and picks, because there's a lot of potential with that Ganesh to stop people like the Oleron or the Nem getting away. But we see it engage coming out here on the first wave, just a bit of poke onto the Negative Noob.
Yeah, just a lot of over pressure, free wave. Yeah, I do really like their comp. I like the Dande Demons one as well, but you can kind of just see that the Shellshocked draft is just very easy to play, has a bunch of big circles, just a lot of peel, and really hard to dive carries as well.
Yeah, it's an old school Xbox comp. You just dump all the circles on top of each other and hope you kill someone. But
I think one of the teams I don't name the Xbox players, but it still works for OC.
Really dominant duo pressure coming out from the Dande Demons.
Yeah, horse, although just a lot of kill pressure as well.
Yeah, I mean, the mannequins helping push so quickly along with that warrior support just means that it's almost impossible for a Shibalanke to get any pressure back there.
Yeah. For the Shell Shock lineup, I'd kind of just want to see them try and get to late game with their comp and, just see if they can execute it well. I think the Dande Demons team is decent late game if they can find some picks, but late game I'd definitely give it to Shell Shocked.
I
But
would
it's
tend
like
to
the
disagree.
You reckon?
I think that all it takes is one well-placed Oleron ult coming out from the Dande Demons to completely throw a fight on its side. Because while the Oleron doesn't have a CC immune ult, neither does the Shibalanke, Ganesh, the Odin, the Humbat. It's, just as easy to go one way or the other. But a lot of damage coming out here onto the Ganesh.
That's gonna be a kill on the
first
Ganesh.
blood. So Lloyd and Tiger Max will clean that one up for first blood on the Dande Demons.
Yeah, I think that was mannequins. You just see really nicely played out of the duo lane from them. Just pressuring from the first wave. It was like, I think Jed used his blink to pick the Ganesh, which is good recognition that they could do that. It should be a free purple buff, but it looks like Tiger's more concerned with the wave. But not going into it yet. It's purple invade.
I think either way it's fine, they're going to keep wave pressure here, although Tiger has taken half the wave with him. Azriel and Negative Noob. They're here, but not going to do a whole lot.
Humbat's pre-5, you're really not looking to fight anything, so good recognition from them that they could invade that. But yeah, the reason I feel the Shell Shock team can have a good advantage late game in team fights is just that Humbat's ult. It's so useful. And like, as long as they're not hard diving into the ult, which I hope they don't, they just have so many different tools just to kind of separate the team fights. And even the own ult should be very useful against, like, it's a really good own pick here. It's only the Barber that can get out of the ult, and she can be stunned out of her jump really easily.
Yeah, I think we might just have to wait to see if they can get some interesting flanks going and really find the value. It's really easy to avoid the Bombats and Odin when they're staring at you front on.
Yeah. I'm not too sure how the demons are gonna get into that back line for Shell Shocked.
That's a bit of a rough dash there, kind of.
Yeah, not too much potential to do anything there anyways, but good
put the fear of God into him. Just gave him a bit of a fright coming by.
Oh, is that? That's looking like a solo kill for Commander Chris.
Oh, no way. Chris, the favorite.
Very hard job going into the set.
Negative Noob dropping low again, but, there's a lot of Abs Pro fans out here. I'm a Commander Chris fan, have been since day one, and I mean, he's just showing you why.
It looks like Abs just overstayed, probably wanted to get a power spike or something. You see his TP's up and the Owen just TP'd back in and ulted him. Yeah, really good, well played by Chris to recognize that. That was crazy though.
No, that's excellent. Both junglers, both looking to tick over to level 5 here. Nem just got it. Humbat's still a little bit behind.
Yeah, looks like Red Invade is looked up by the demons, knowing that the Humbats was on the other side of the map.
I believe there was also... I was gonna say a speed invade, but there wasn't. He just went and checked it for some reason.
Yeah, there was no speed to be found.
Yeah,
even
well,
with
I mean, he got the buff on him.
Yeah, you even saw like the 0 mana Barba getting away with getting the enemy team's red buff. You'd be very happy if you were her.
Yeah, and I mean, it'd be interesting to see Golden Hand here, because I would wager that Tiger Max is probably sitting on a full item right about now.
Yeah, most likely going to be that Bancrofts. Yeah, he's almost got Bancrofts. Probably gets his own purple and Dax.
1950.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I'm a boomer.
Jed coming in here, looking for the blink. Good dash out of Negative Noob on reaction to get away from it.
That was very impressive. You can see that it's not an Xbox. That was a huge flick to dash away on the Ganesh there.
Yeah, either that or he's got really low sensitivity. Dragons come out looking for some damage. Jed's going up, and he's straight back down, just getting the shield out to stop damage coming out into Melbs. But
yeah, it looks like they were just watching out for the picks coming in. If the Ganesh was level 5, they definitely could have gone killed there, but with no Darn Pillars, there wasn't that much potential.
Yeah,
but
it was also a lot to commit to a Scorpion.
Yeah.
Look for a gank here on Abs Pro, blink in, really good no evil. Oh, and the Odin all on top.
I don't think they're gonna have the damage to kill him.
They don't have the
that
damage. Chris misses the jump. He's just gonna ult out. But that being said, apart from the jump being missed, that was mechanically well played. And a blue invade coming out here.
Yeah, good recognition to get that off the invade.
That's secured by the blue buff tick, or the blue stone tick.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy scared. Melb's no mana, and also hasn't not backed yet, so not really too much you can do off that.
That is
bit
very
of an odd couple minutes. I do want to say I love the recognition for the demons to go for the enemy scorpion. Those scorpions are very, very high value, and getting the enemy team's one can really just give you a good advantage going into the early game. Not sure if they got it, to be honest.
Oh, I
but
mean,
it's
there
good
was
recognition.
a lot of particle effects, a lot of ults, and a lot of fun.
Yeah, everyone having a good time in the mid lane. You see, difference in the support builds. Jed's gone for the Mail of Renewal, while the Ganesh has gone for the Gauntlet of Thebes, which, you know, it would just feel bad to not get that on the Ganesh. It's so free to stack on him, but I do like the Renewal in Jed as well. It would just make him really hard to kill in this early game.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, Jed's looking more to keep himself alive because he's really wanting to engage and start stuff. Azriel getting slowed out here by the Nem, looking for the tower dive. Not gonna
Yes.
take it. Good call.
Yeah, no ult on the Melbs, and he has speeds and not blink, so can't really kill him there. But they are forcing that Hunbats out, which results in a free blue buff. And
Caught, sorry. The Shivalanke caught out, but able to just dash away from that while
Yeah.
his purple buff will get in.
do you remember when we noted that Tiger Max had... Oh, looks like... Evelyn's gets the red buff, or almost got the red buff with just slamming on it with his house. But do you remember when we said Tiger Max had enough gold to back about like 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, he's got even
He's
more
still
than
on the map, and still getting invades off with just that tiny trinket. But when he does back...
That's the state of ADC though, when you're kind of this far ahead, there's never a moment where there's not something for you to take. It's hard to find a good moment to give up all this juicy gold.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get punished for it, it's not too bad. It looks like he has basically full control of the lane somehow, despite only having an item.
Yeah, he
so it's
is low
spread buff
mana
again as
here.
well. Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a confidence issue for the X-Ball, just not really being able to get the lane back into his control.
Might
That
be
being said,
getting a
he's
bit
pushing to
too
the tower.
confident here though.
Yeah,
Gonna
got
get
these
linked
beads
on.
forced earlier, but late one from Jed, unfortunately. But they weren't really gonna kill that because Tiger only has one item, and it's a tier 1 item.
One item, third health, low mana. No
Yeah,
issue.
Tiger's just saying, get out of my lane, dudes. I'm farming till 20. I'm not leaving this lane. It looks like there was red invades from the Shell Shock boys, and they did end up getting that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's excellent awareness and good to see them still having the fighting spirit, despite being behind 2 levels in their ADC and 1 level in the jungle, 1 level in the
Yeah.
mid.
You can
Ahead
kind
in
of,
support.
yeah, that's a good one. You always want the support to be ahead.
Tiger finally
Hey.
backed, gets an item and a half.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's you did not want to be fighting that guy. I think you can probably 1v3 the Ganesh and Unbats at this point. Yeah, like, you see, I like the way Shell Shock have been playing. Honestly, they've been trying to get stuff going. You know, some blue invades, red invades. Just, you know, trying to play
Yeah.
them up. You can kind of see the demons just being way more experienced in their map play. They're just 2k ahead and quite a lot of XP, even though it's just 1-1. You even see Abs being completely even after getting soloed.
Yeah, a bit late on the rotation to red here. Negative noob knocked up, but he should be fine, able to get out. Secured
Yeah.
by the Dandy Demons.
Or the
Coming
bubble
out,
it
but-
forces the jump out of wanting to get some poke on them, but yeah, that red buff's still up, and it looks like they're just going to Scorp instead. But
I will
they'll
say-
find Commander Chris there.
that I do like the play coming out of the Shell Shock boys to be able to avoid these like very obvious picks they've been looking for. Azriel kind of going really deep for these games. They're
Yeah.
gonna get Nem ulted, Arthur up in the air, coming
There's the
down.
Ganesh
Killers
ult is
have
on,
been
plus
dropped.
the-
Really good Hornbart's ult. He's gonna stay for a while. Ode not coming through. Jed dropping a
Yeah.
bit low. Dueling Dragons. Endless also dropping low.
Chris
Chris
going
in
on
their
Jed.
backline.
He's very deep.
1v85.
Yeah, he just ended up 1v4ing there. Tried his best. It's crazy that Azriel lived there, really overcommitted onto the Nem, but the circle saved him for a while. Looks like,
Oh,
yeah, the
juking
Ganesh is gonna be
himself to
picked up
death.
here. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
think he was
I-
living there anyways, but yeah, those jukes just guarantees it.
I think that there might have been a bit of a disconnect there. Chris was very much alone, doing a lot of work, but he was alone for a good 5 seconds with no extra damage coming his way.
Yeah. You saw
Yeah.
the Mail of Renewal coming in clutch for Jet there as well. If he had an unstacked Phoebes, he was very dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like
I was
that result
gonna
in Scorpion
say
Invade
that,
and the Pyro.
I was going to say that I like that the Shell Shock boys haven't really been playing into the Dandy Demon's hands. They haven't really been getting picked by this Horus, despite his best efforts to look.
Yeah.
But, you know, one bad fight like that, and it's a 3k gold lead to the Dandy Demons. 4k.
Yeah, a bit dyslexic. It's a 4K, but
No, it must
I
have
do
gone up
agree.
while I was looking at it.
Yeah. he, it's not over by any means for Shell Shocked. It is kind of hard to mentally get yourself back in the game after that happening, but you definitely still have a lot of late game that they can play with, and yeah, they find anyone overcommitting from the demons. I think they have had the confidence to try and pick them.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that you will see that like a lot of these lower teams lack when they try to go up against some of the higher teams is just that confidence to be able to, execute their plan and make their plays. And so far, I've really liked what I've seen from Shell Shocked, going for the invades, going for the defense, trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah, you can just see that if they cleaned up
With Dash
their
coming
macro a bit, they'd be doing a lot better. Yeah, it is completely fine. Looks like
Yeah.
they're even going on the Ganache. Really nice play from Jets to go to his teammate with the heal and then use the stuns.
That's just unlucky that Nem's just so big at the moment.
Yeah, even has the exit for the Pro Tread there. Looks like Tiger just completely dominating his lane.
It's hard to fight into an Oleron at any point in the game, and now that he's so far ahead, I don't know if 1v1 should ever be the plan, but
Yeah,
it's
he's-
going to be started up by the demons.
Yeah, it should be relatively free. The Ganache is going to be completely in base, unless... Yeah, the Humbats is also too far away. It's going to be up to
Melb's
the
on the
Yuan
flank here,
still.
looking to catch a Xu Huang on his way in. He's up in the air.
Yeah, no ult
Melb
for the
looking to
Nemesis.
Demons
Demons
will
do get
that
the Gold Fury. Good
Good
push
push.
from Quickie.
But he's running himself to death.
Yeah, you see, some of them have enough time to hit him twice with the slice and dice there. Unfortunate, because
Yeah.
support pick goes into the Gold Fury, really clean by Demons. You can see that they've gone into this game with a plan, and they're taking it seriously.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Every time they've gotten a kill or two, they've transitioned it into an objective. Looks like there's an engage going here on Chris, but I mean that's not going to be much. Shield pops, he's full health.
Yeah, got through the shield, did abs pro. Looks like he
Okay.
has T1 earring for the MP5, I'm guessing. Yeah, 15 MP5 just out of the gate. It's pretty good for an Arthur who really wants to be spamming his abilities.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't help him in that early game, but
That's true.
still
But
a
he
good
did end up
pickup.
being 2 levels ahead.
Yeah. Good
Ooh,
silence
dead
just to pop the
Magi's.
bubble.
Yeah, he's gotta be mad after that one. No Magi's revenge yet to hunt down the elephant.
It's just one of those annoyances, right? You get it and gets popped by something really easy, and you're like,
Yeah. You see, there's actually, I think the Yu Hong route and obviously the Ganesh are the only things that are really going to be popping that for Jez, besides that Humbat's ult, which is obviously what you want to be getting.
yeah. As long as he can avoid getting hit by the silence at the start of a fight, he does get a fair bit of value out of it.
Tread pushed in solo, you see a huge convergence from the demons onto
Looking
it.
for a pick onto Chris. I didn't.
Yeah,
see
Chris
him
has
jump,
no
but
Magi D yet. His
yeah,
Bala
he's
could do
fine.
some damage. Yeah.
Might
But
have
there's
to
going to
give
be
up
that
his
solo lane
power
pushdown.
here. Yeah, that's a big rotation.
Yeah, he has no help. You see the Shell Shocked boys going for the enemy red buff, giving it up. But
yeah,
yeah,
I'd like to see them even try to milk a little bit, but I might
yeah,
leave
that's
it.
Nemol and Chris. He might be ran down here. Really nice play from
dead.
Jads. Yeah, he's a goner.
That's just an unfortunate moment.
Yeah. And that Trebuchet, it's not going to stop after the T1. They can go for T2 with that as well. And
Big ult coming
Tiger-
from Tiger Max. He
Tiger
gets
won
knocked
for
up into his own ult, rooted. Everyone's coming in from behind. This is a big fight. Beads blown.
Yeah,
Dragon's
they
coming
can.
out. Big ult going down, but Azriel's going to be the first to fall. Quickie low in the back line. He's gone. And Negative Noob running for his life. This is one elephant that cannot be caged, and he will be looking for a way out. Ping's coming out.
That's...
He's done it.
Oh, he
He's
evaded
done
them.
it.
Because if I was him, I'd be going for that green buff for this one. I want that. Yeah, you just see Tiger has too many green items for the enemy team having 0 anti-heal. And he just took negative damage to the entire procedure. Yeah, see the hit Kate and the Bancrofts and the Talon Trinket. He's no real... You can see how confident he was going into it. He's also just extremely fed. He was about level 16 into a very nice lineup of level 11s.
Yeah, there was no reason for him to ever be afraid going into it, so
Yeah.
good play. Tar gonna try and make his way out. Juking, weaving, ducking, dodging, dipping, dying.
Yeah. Expo into Nemesis, not really... Not a situation you're ever happy with. No way to pop her bubble and you know she can just run you down really easily after the dash.
Yeah, and this lead steadily growing for the Dandy Demons. you know, buffs being invaded. Jungle
Yeah.
being stripped. We'll get that red buff, this side of Shell Shocked.
Yeah, I think the demons, their comms at this point are probably mostly talking about who's going to get top damage. At least that's what I'd be thinking about.
Tiger's talking about the interest that he's made from holding all this gold in his bank. Thinking of investing in some cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
He's not looking to spend anything soon.
3,700, yeah. So yeah, at this point, he really should be getting taxed by the Smite government, but that's not going to happen. It looks like the demon's looking for the Pyromancer.
Yeah, you can see Chris here trying to stop Abs Pro from zoning, but his team's kind of disconnected. They're all pretty far away. Abs
Yeah.
doing as he pleases.
Let's jump
Jed
in.
looking for the re-engage here to double knock up onto Chris and Quickie. Pillars
Yeah,
coming
no.
out. They're
No
all
demo
trapped
yet.
into there. But
looks like she did
you know,
all.
they didn't actually have to go too far.
Yeah, this is a lot of
Endless
and this
running
actually getting
super
really
low
low.
here.
Good combo by Azrael and the Yuhang. They actually are going to get him.
They
That's
will
a
get
big
cleaned
pick.
up. That was a strange ult from the Arthur onto the Elephant, but Azrael will fall to Daddy Melbs. Chris also dropping quite low, looking for a jump to get out, and he's made it over. Quickie dropping low, doesn't want to go down too quickly here.
Yeah,
Melbs and Jed should pick that up, and that might even be a
Abs
double
just
kill
going
there.
huge in the
for
back line
Abs.
as well.
Yeah.
Good try from Shell Shock, to be honest, but
Good
it's way
stun.
too far behind. You saw what I meant with their comp. That fight just turned into ability salad. There's just combats all Yuhang ult, Ganesh pillars, Odin cage somewhere, and
Well, I think the best part of that interaction was they got Ganesh Odin ulted, and Jed just quickly pressed 4, flew about 2 meters to the right, and dropped him out.
yeah, well, both of the demons to win that fight, but obviously just very, very ahead. It's hard for the Shell Shock to play into that. But they did pick up the Baba, which is something. But I think, yeah, probably one of the only people in the demons who had a shutdown, but you know, it's something. And it looks like Tiger with a full row of Tahuti as well, backing.
Yeah, you know, he saves up and he spends it, putting down a deposit for the win right now, investing in
Yeah.
those items.
And straight back to his lane.
He's got nowhere else to be. There's still a tower there.
Yeah, that's
Helping
a
out
good
that
point.
Primal Fury.
Level 19, not even getting involved in the fights yet, just
Yeah.
in the background for his team.
And
The
once he
Ganesh
hits
is gonna look for a steal.
once he hits 20, it's gonna be very easy to look for that Fire Giant. I don't know what they're doing here. Just do the Gold Fury. That Ganesh is. There's no way. Okay.
He was close. He was close. You gotta give the negative noob that. He almost got that.
Dueling Dragons will kiss in the middle and find no one to break him up. Big jump coming in here from Chris. Negative Noob dropping low, shells himself. These guys love running away from their teammates and towers, but
Yeah,
Ganesh just
I
sacrificing himself.
I think the Ganesh going in to steal the gold for you there was probably conscious that it was a suicide mission. You know, he was
Ooh.
here at war.
not walking, flying straight over to that Fire Giant. Really fast rotation to come there. Azrael's
Yeah.
lurking in the jungle here, but
You
I
could use the
don't-
horse.
Don't think his ult's gonna do much here to even stop him.
They know
Looking
he's
for a
here
steal.
now. He has stopped their DPS. Jumps in on the Olo. That's all
Big
the
ult on ult.
They still combat's all for this.
Dropped
Ooh.
really late. Ticks coming
Yeah,
out a
really
bit
close. The
slower
demons
than
do
ult.
get it.
Endless also dropping low again here, but I think this is just a disengage angle.
Yeah, you can just see if Chris was higher level, that would be going a lot better, but he just can't really do his job properly
Flame coming
with this
out
amount of
from
form.
Mel's onto Char. Not
Yeah,
much
that
to
is
go on
FG
there.
secured by the demons. Very good play to get the gold fury and then just instantly horse ult towards the FG.
That's just one of the reasons why Horus is so strong. It's just those global rotations that you can make and just dropship a whole team.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's free FG. Boys got the mid tower as well, but feel like stopping there. But also, they did force Tiger Max out of his lane for the first time of his life, maybe. I think he was not used to leaving. He left Hobbiton, you know, hasn't been
Yeah, I
outside the
think
Shire.
he's very lost, looking like Will Smith heading over to Bel Air. Doesn't quite know what to do with all this money.
Ooh. Negative Noob is just absolutely gunning it for the enemy objectives and anything that they're doing and trying to steal it. He doesn't get his score for his team.
I
He gets his
really
ult forced
like
out.
the way he's playing. If he was a bit further ahead with some gold, that's the perfect way to play the support. Is just annoy them, be an absolute pain in the ass, and
Yeah.
don't let anything happen for free.
Honestly, if you're scouting for a support player, looks like we got a mini Shank just running around, taking things, trying to take things from the enemy team.
You know, that's funny. I normally call elephants mini shanks as well, but
Does he have a weight problem? I didn't notice.
But they look like they will be cleaning up that left lane tower.
Yeah, on the other...
Trebuchet.
Yeah, really good push from him. Quickie really out of position. Forced into the jump. Might be getting engaged on when he lands, but it looks like he'll be alright. Commander Chris is kind of behind. They know the Nemesis is in solo and they might want to be fighting this. Ooh, Azrael just gets picked way too early into the fight.
Yeah, it's a bit of rough positioning. I feel like with the Treb there and the oh, still going in here. Good
Yeah,
Ganesh ult to kind of slow down the offense, but the Treb's still just gonna work at chunking away that tower.
Yeah, Trap does fall, but you know, don't really need it. Melbs is still solo lane pushing down.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They've now got 4 people charging into a 4v4, and then Melb's just cleaning up what he can on the right side. Chris getting stunned out. His jump is down.
Still has ult. He is caging the enemy team in, but that's the Phantom Shell.
Yeah, that was a good grab coming
Horizon?
out from Negative Noob. Horizon maybe
just used for the
trying to get
shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiger tanking a bit too much of the Phoenix, gets kind of low, but you see Melbs getting the solo side Phoenix, it looks like
Yeah,
really nice
he's
blinking
gonna
edge.
fall here. Negative Noob
Yeah.
super low, but they're just gonna ignore him and go for the Phoenix here. And that's
Ted has
two
been playing his
Phoenixes.
horse so beautifully. That was really nice engage onto the Yu Huang.
Yeah, I think that the oh, Tiger just taking out Chris there.
Yeah.
I think that the level disparity doesn't quite tell the tale of what Jed's been doing. You know, Negative Noob and Jed have been on the same level, but Jed has been sacrificing a fair bit of farm to get these blink stuns and give pressure to his other lanes. Speaking of blink stun, goes in, doesn't quite connect it.
Yeah.
Endless picked up on the end here by the...
But they still do pick up Cha. Yeah, they pick up Cha. It looks like not going for the anti. Jed is very low, but they do have a wave going to time. Yeah, since boys have called to leave it, not to throw.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a pyro, you can do whatever you want at this point. Tiger can go to the bank, talk about his loans, what the best interest rate for him is.
Yeah, the boys are just playing GTA at this point. You can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, they're Snoop Dogg. They finished all the quests, they're just going for the side quests.
Yeah. Is it like
I-
Sorry, you go.
Oh, I'd like to think that pyro is one of those side quests and then maybe try and get the fire to end or just walk it down.
Yeah, they did get the triple Phoenix, which basically just ends the game, especially with the lead that they have. You see, Tiger went for, I think, the attack speed Bancrofts? I'm not sure if I've seen that before.
Yep, that is the attack speed Bancroft.
Yeah, you don't really get
And-
too much of the ability value on Olo with the other ones. I do like it, especially since he only has one ring.
Yeah, and you only need one ring on all of them now. It just means that you can focus on more power to get your crit chance higher. So, it is quite a good pickup.
Yeah, definitely. I like the build. He ends up with 40% penetration as well with the Ob
Yeah.
Shard and the Typhons.
Wouldn't be Tiger Max without triple lifesteal either, so...
That is a good point. Although in this
It
case, I
would-
think it is more excusable.
It's still this one's actually a good build, but it just would not be Tiger Max without it.
Yeah. But you saw him really just own that lane from the start, making good use of the first pick Olo.
I do think the Olo Horus lane is quite a strong one to play into.
Yeah, definitely. You just didn't really get to see the Shell Shock boys get to, team fight evenly with, all their big circles.
Yeah, fire spawning, they'll just do it on as soon as it drops. They've got waves pushing into the right and mid lane, so there's not really
Yeah.
much chance for.
This is you got the Nightmare Blunt rotation on it right now. That's the lowest DPS you could have on the
Yeah.
FG.
Yeah,
The Baba Yaga, but still progressively doing it.
Tiger Max decided to take him back. He's here for the final bits to say he helped out. And Melb's
Let him-
taking on the role of the solo laner and zoning out everyone. Negative Noob dropping super
He has
low.
the
but
Horus
really,
ult on him.
really good ult from Chris to save Negative Noob there. Drops the pillars to try and save himself. Quickie
Yeah,
gonna be
but-
taken up.
Even if they did engage onto mobs there, it's such a good Horus ult to support him with the whole team. But yeah, it looks like the boys are just gonna be running it down for ends. That's the dragons coming out, not really getting too much going on. But
Yeah, they
it
found
looks
the
like-
end in the middle and didn't want to be there. All on ult coming out, they are just farming damage at this point, trying to overtake Melbs, and he has done it. I'm fuming for Melbs. Melbs is taking it back.
in it. He has a decent lead, it's about 1k.
Oh, back
Tiger
in.
gets hit a big crit. Oh.
And that's unlucky for Melbs. It really just goes to show that he is the worst player in this game.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt for the Nemesis, but yeah, Dande Demons do, despite that horrible loss for the jungler, pick up game 1, really well played by them.
Yeah, I think that was an excellent showing. I think the early game I don't know if I would say it was close. I think that there was a lead mounting, but
Yeah,
I think that
you,
they. Oh, go on.
you could see that the Shell Shock boys had a good mindset going into it and really were trying to play into them, but Demon's just more established at this point in the league.
Yeah, and I just hope that we can see the same kind of mental and the same confidence in invading and contesting buffs coming out in the next game. But
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
we will throw it back over to our analysts.
Thank you very much, Snowy and Vintage, and I'm still Dice Heart. I'm still here with Lath, and yeah, that was a
Hi, I'm
pretty good
Lath.
set. Hi, this is Lath.
Yeah, Dice.
pretty good
Yeah,
game.
exciting game. I mean, we did say on the desk about there were some funny interactions into the Oleron. Unfortunately, none of those interactions any good for actually taking the Oleron off the map. And as we see, Tiger does run away deathless this game.
Yeah,
A couple of deathless
702
people actually.
GPM as well on that Oleron. He was just farming, my lord.
Yeah, Tiger loves sitting in lane so much that he doesn't even want to go back to base.
Yep, and I mean, good on him for that. And I think I saw it called out in chat by you, in fact, that he must have been body blocked into that horror soul in order to be forced over towards that fire giant there.
Taken against his will to the fire giant, anything to get him off the left side of the map. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure what else to say. A lot of action between the 3v3 of Dandy Demons in mid.
Yeah.
I think really that's where a lot of the strength from that team came from. Jed was just everywhere, you know. Most of that game, Jed and Dan were the same level in support. Jed was just everywhere. He was just giving up his farm. He was just rocking up. He set up for 15 or something kills. I think he was 0-15.
Yeah, I believe it was, yes. And
Yeah, just everywhere, and a lot of good horror assaults too.
yeah, I mean, you definitely pointed it out perfectly there. He was a level down on that Ganesh for a pretty decent proportion of that game, but I mean, it didn't matter because he was getting his team ahead, and on that Horus having, you know, just the inbuilt prot shred and that ultimate to move his team around and provide a shield. It doesn't really matter if you're behind, especially if you've got something like that Mail of Renewal, which I think he picked up to
Yeah,
just keep himself nice and healthy.
he also picked up Pribwin on Horus, which doesn't work.
Does not
but-
work. Not the first time we've seen that this weekend either.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, we've seen a disgustingly large amount of Horuses building Pridwin this weekend.
Makes me sick.
Just a mental note to all the Horuses: Pridwin doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
If you want the cooldown, just get breastplate. Probably.
Yep. I mean, yeah, like it's not bad. You get some cooldown and some magical defense, but yeah, you just get press plate, which has cooldown and physical defense, and
But you
actually
can
works.
just get another item that works better.
Get a Chronos pendant and do some damage. Oh, well, you can't on Horus.
Get an item that actually works. But I mean, that doesn't take away from how well he actually played the Horus.
Yes, absolutely. I have to agree with you.
And I mean, I said before the picks came through about Melbs just being able to play like the Nemesis really well, and I was excited to see it. And boy, did I enjoy watching that. That was a
Yes.
clinic on how to play Nemesis.
Now, if you're shell shocked going into this second game, what are you taking away, and what's your plan? Do you think going into it?
I guess probably the Oleron. I mean, I can't quite. I think they banned 2 supports last game, which is good. I mean, you're taking 2 top picks away from, you know, Jed, but at the same time, you're also only banning 1 person.
Yep.
You know, maybe you look at taking that both the Nemesis and the Oleron away. I think that's probably what I would be doing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go straight into from here picks and bans for game number 2 between Dandy Demons and Shell Shocked in just a moment. Once I fix this up. Okay, here we go. And we have Dandy Demons this time, once again, actually, by the looks of it, in that first pick position.
Yeah, odd. So Chris's team thinking that maybe they're a little bit better off from that second pick, you know, getting 2 picks for the first prio.
Yeah, curious to see what they're looking for there. I imagine you're right that they are looking for 2 picks off the first prio, but I mean, yeah, what are those 2 picks going to be that they're looking for?
Oh, you meant to have a graphic up, by the way?
I sure am, but Daji has been taken away so far by Danny Demons and Oleron on the side of Shell Shocked.
Yeah,
I'll set this up for you. Oh, I'm the moron. There we
Everyone,
go.
everyone, your fearless leader, Dice Heart, at it again.
It's pretty consistent that I'm a moron these days by the looks of it. Yeah, so Darji and Oleron have been taken away so far.
You know, using my sixth sense, I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a Chernobog first pick this game.
Well, fuck it, I don't really need to be coy about the first few bands, do I? We've already seen them.
To be fair, I've already forgotten what they were. Darji, Lancelot. I think they banned these last game as well. Freya ban. Again, odd that Freya's being banned. I guess last time they wanted the Oleron, but Oleron's been banned by Shell Shocked
Mhm.
this game. So I'm not too sure why Dande Demons have elected to just ban Freya. I guess Tiger's saying, I don't want to play this god. I want to play Chernobog.
Well, I mean, we do see that your Psychic Towers have come in handy this time as well. Chernobog is locked in for Dandy Demons, and I mean, we do know how potent of a pick this is for them.
Oh yeah, I mean, exhibited that game. Tiger absolutely refusing, had to be held hostage just to get him across the map to do the Fire Giant.
Yep.
So, yeah, putting him on the Chernobog who can just rotate straight over, always a smart call. Is the Arthur being elected for Shell Shocked here, taking it away from Abs? I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw what Arthur could do. Arthur's just made a huge resurgence lately. Makes good use of just rushing that Sov that a lot of solo laners want to do right now, and I'm pretty keen for this. I want to see Az back on this Kabrakan again.
So do I. He put on so much pressure in his set when he picked that one up, and having Chris on that King Arthur, being able to put those two gods together and really control that front line or control the Danny Demon's back line using this front line. I love to see that. So it'd be an interesting
Yeah.
combo.
I think the boys in Shell Shocked, although in fairness had a good draft, you know, ignoring the fact that they didn't pick anything that could kill Oleron. I do think that they picked far too late with that Humbats and that Odin, really picking for like the team fights rather than early pressure, and they just lost the game before they got to those team fights. So I'm excited to see them pick something a little bit stronger early.
Yeah, I think definitely early pressure is necessary, and that really has been the conversation we've been having recently. These less strong teams, when they're forced to play into some of the higher tier teams, if they don't pick themselves a little bit of early pressure, they're not able to get themselves into a position where they can play a late game comp at the moment. And I mean, that does, the ability to do that does come from a lot of learning and experience, and sort of losing the early game correctly, I think would be the best way of putting it.
Yeah, you don't always have to win early with those late game team comps, but you have to not lose.
Yeah.
You know, that's the important bit. And I mean, Kakullan pretty good at winning early, so this is a pretty this is like season 6, season 7 vibes right now.
I like it. I love
Kakullan
so
solo
much.
lanes. There was a phase a couple years back where this was the solo lane, and this is all you saw.
I mean, OC's running it back, maybe a bit late to the party.
Yeah, I am not happy for this meta to come back. I don't like seeing either of those gods against me. I mean, I like it when
on your
when I have
team.
those on my team, but
Yep.
no, I don't like seeing them against me. As Raven now picked up means that this Kabrakan is actually support.
Yeah, unless the Raven's gonna go to support, that could be spicy.
Or it could be a Kabrakan mid.
Or it could be a
I mean, we
Kabrakan
never
mid.
know.
We have seen that a few times now, and I mean, it is a potent pick in the right hands.
Yeah, we have completely brushed over that Poseidon. I mean, pretty stock standard mage. Kraken, good secure. You know, that Trident does a lot of objective damage. And, you know, the cripple always very strong into King Arthur. I mean, Kabrakan doesn't really care too much. I think Cab's actually a very good pick into Poseidon.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we'll see how that little matchup goes. But if this is the 3 front lines of Shell Shocked, I'm very upset with how they've gone about this.
Yeah,
You know,
not giving
they have the
yourself
ambiguity.
any
Yeah.
4D chess going on, as Abs would say.
Yeah, like, absolutely. These homies are playing 2D chess on a McDonald's serviette.
I think that is an accurate analogy. As we see Athena being taken away by Shell Shocked, and Danny Demon's opting to remove that E set from Shell Shocked.
I love the heads up from Shell Shock though to ban this Athena.
Mhm.
Obviously, the Athena Poseidon something that Demons have played quite a few times now.
Very
and
potently as well.
pretty potent combo. So E set ban.
I like this horror span out of Shell Shocked as well, actually, sorry. But, I mean, getting it away from Jed is a really good call here. He had so much early pressure on that god.
Yeah, I do like that. Yu Huang ban as well. I think pretty clever. You know, we have seen, like I said, Quickie's played it the last 3 games, so
Yep.
taking him off it, making him play something he's maybe not as comfortable with, you know, always a smart idea.
Yeah, I have to imagine he's got a decently sized god pool, but I mean, the fact that he's leaning on that Yu Huang, it does make a lot of sense. A very strong god in the meta. I have to imagine that it's definitely a comfortable pick for him. But we do see the Cupid now being hovered by Shell Shock, opting again to
Yeah.
go towards the high CC.
As far as what I know about Quickie, Ra is the first god that comes to mind, and boy howdy do I hope we don't see that here.
Not here, definitely not here. But I mean, I
Yeah.
love Ra in this meta at the moment.
Well, is the Cupid a potent healer? You know,
Potent
those
healer
fields of
indeed.
love, pretty strong. I mean, I do think Poseidon. I do think Danny Demons have a pretty strong comp into Cupid in general. I mean, Cucullin's got double CC immune ults.
Mhm.
Chernobog also CC immune ult, and then Poseidon just kind of clicks 2 and just zooms out of that Cupid ult, especially if he builds Doom Orb early. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I know Cupid's pretty meta right now, and I guess these boys are just kind of playing to that.
We do see the Fafnir hover for the Dandy Demons here as well, and yeah, Charybdis too. So it looks like going for a pretty hard auto attack based comp here. Maybe
Yeah.
trying to
Okay,
get some
I
advantage
was
out of the
actually
Poseidon.
just about to say that this could be Melbs on the Poseidon, and with Charybdis hover, it looks like that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right. Oh, yeah, 100% right about that. And Melb does like to pull out some spicy picks. Fafnir locked in there. I can't imagine Charybdis too far behind either.
Yeah, I like this comp. I think Cupid does absolutely nothing here.
Yeah, shut down pretty hard now is the Charybdis. Sorry, is the Cupid by that Charybdis pickup. Just being able to remove yourself from Field of Loves that's Jesus Christ. From Cupid Ultimate, because now I can't even say it properly. It's really, really potent to be able to do. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Oh boy. Nothing but professionalism here.
Yeah, man.
No breakdowns in sight.
I'm
Still waiting for that
close.
last pick. I would assume we're looking for a mid. I highly doubt I'm going to be seeing Quickie play Cabrakan mid here.
It looks like the Discordia being hovered at the moment. This is an interesting god that has kind of been out of the meta and hasn't really been picked up too much in the OCL. What do you think about it, Lath?
Yeah, look, I'm not too sure about actually being played in the OCL, but I know a lot of OCL mid laners have been practicing this pick. So
Mm.
I think it's kind of good. I think it does what you want your mage to do. Like, and sometimes when you've got a really strong draft around it, all you need is a mage who just kind of pumps some numbies.
Yeah, I mean, I love Discordia personally. She would be the god that I would pick up straight away if I'm forced to play mid and ranked, and we do see you locked in. 40% win rate, 5 times played in the first 2 seasons of OCL, so not too bad of a showing from the Disco.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of good into Fafnir if you can time that ultimate really perfectly. Which I mean, if you pair the Cupid ult with the Discordia ult, you got that double cripple there. You can just blow a Fafnir up really quickly. So I don't mind it too much, but I mean, we're just talking about killing the support here, which isn't ever really ideal.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, if you're shell-shocked right now, in my personal opinion, I think that this team comp is pretty much built around trying to target out that Poseidon pretty consistently. And use your hard CC, especially that Cabrakan ult into the Cupid ult, and maybe disco damage to really rip through him before he can even get a Kraken off, and hopefully dismantle the rest of the team off the back of that. But I mean, having such a hard auto attack comp to deal with here might be a bit of a struggle for Shellshocked.
Yeah, I think we just need the Shellshock boys to try to dictate some fights on their own terms. We saw a lot of last game where they were, you know, kind of using ultimates to peel themselves, or, you know, because a fight was forced on them. We need to see them force some fights themselves with this team comp. If they're not ulting and fighting together, I don't think they really have a chance of beating this Demons team, especially with that double ADC.
Yeah, 100% right there, and I think we're just about ready to pass it straight over to the casters. But really quickly, Lath, based on the team comps, who do you think is going to take this one away?
Oh, I think I've got to go over to the Dandy Demons comp for this game.
Alright. Fuck you, it's going to be Shell Shock then. I really like the hard target onto the Poseidon and using that CC to remove him from the map, but let's hand it straight over to Snowy and Vintage to bring us this cast of game number 2 between Dandy Demons and Shell Shock. Take it away, boys.
Hi, I'm Snowy, and with me we have my good and dear friend,
Oh, God.
Vintage.
That's the wrong button. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, I'm Vintage from earlier in the stream.
Alright, so as they were talking about earlier on the desk, it is going to be Melbs on that Poseidon jungle with Endless mid on the Chernobog and Pagamax on the Charybdis.
Yeah, pretty standard, just Fafnir comp from the blue team. Have just tons of burn with basically every role, and you basically just see them like get gold furies and objectives and just melt frontline in seconds.
Yeah. I am interested to see how the duo lane pans out this time. Obviously, the Charybdis and Fafnir aren't going to be quite as dominant as the Horus and Oleron that we saw last game. I'd like to see how the Cabrakan and Cupid kind of play into them on this first wave, because I think that's going to be the most important one.
Yeah, you see Noob on the Kabrak instead of the Ganesh this game. I'd really like to see him just be super aggressive and annoying, like he was trying to do the last game.
Yeah, who knows, he might have more success with it this time. And is he going to Tremor?
Oh,
A little bit late on the Tremors, wasn't able to group the Heart Bomb. I think that it still looks to be going the way of Shell Shocked in terms of the actual clear, but that's just the nature of the lane.
Yeah, much better wave one for the boys this game, but you see him cancel the Tremors, trying to suck out Jed with the hammer. But yeah, it looks like Harbin hits Jed. It's gonna be decently poked. Good Tremors as well off it.
Sun coming out.
Yeah, you can see how tanky Cabra is with that early game passive and the Watchers.
Yeah, and he has enough health pods, he'll be able to sustain himself back up, and that's lane pressure to the side of Shell Shock.
Yeah, it's like
Love to see it.
early gank from the mid duo. Skipping those oracles going straight over, but
Okay, you hate to see this. Melb's gonna miss the one that could actually be the nail in the coffin that lets Negative Noob win, and yeah, he's just gonna run it out. I
mean, if it hit, it'd be putting him closest towards his tower. I'm not sure how much a level 2 Poseidon can do, but you did see the Shell Shock duo very extended on the that camp in the between Oris and the trio.
Yeah.
Don't want to name it on stream. You can see a level 2 Poseidon gank, not really that much potential to do anything. You just see Endless as well there as well if you hit that route maybe.
Yeah, and Azriel clearing out the back camps of the enemy jungler, so not for nothing, you know, it's the trade of one Serpent on the duo side for 3 camps on the solo side.
Yeah, you just hear not the casters, the analysts. I'm the caster. The analysts talking about the disco pick, and I think a really undervalued thing about it is that passive. You know, giving one of your players just a huge advantage in lane. Hopefully the solo laner. You saw what Chris was able to do last game in lane. You know, giving him an extra 20 power in King Arthur can actually make a huge impact.
Yeah, and you think that playing King Arthur with that blue stone especially, it shouldn't be too hard for him to get and keep that passive. A lot of aggression coming out onto Negative Noob. He'll just walk it out.
Yeah, it looks like the purples have spawned. Jed is very low on mana though, so I'm not sure if they're going to be able to invade. It's like Negative Noob going to help his mid laner with reds. Very nice guy.
Yeah, Char going to start up his purple here. I'm sure that Negative Noob will make the rotation over to make sure that there's no funny business going on.
Yeah, good recognition to see that he didn't need help on the purple buff since the Fafnir had no mana.
Yeah, and that's just securing the first spawn for each of them. You know, it's good to kind of make sure that they're mitigating some of this damage. Abs wanted to be Chris so bad and get the solo kill. He's still looking for it. He's trying to redeem himself. He just...
Once his abilities come, he might be able to kill him there. Chris stepping up really far.
Oh, and that's it. It's all she wrote.
There we go. Absur redeeming himself. Did you see Chris with the TP?
I think it was a bit greedy of Chris to even try to, like, last hit that wave. He should have just let Tower clear it while he was backing and TP in, but all in hindsight.
You know, we all make mistakes in the heat of the moment.
Some
Said
more than others.
Hugh Neutron.
I don't think he did say that.
He did though in the meme. Anyway. It's like the Shell Shock boys do pick up the oracles. Not really that far behind, only 500 off the first blood. I think that's
Negative Noob looking to get a wraparound here onto Endless.
Yeah, doesn't have his ult yet, but they could disco apple him for speeds.
I think he popped that one a little bit early. But still looking for it. Endless? Yeah, dashing to the safety of Melbs.
Yeah, well played by Ends. Really just not afraid of them there. Yeah, it looks like Yeah, so just around 600 gold lead. I would like to see the Shellshock boys look for something with this early game Braven in the Cabra. I think like Dice said,
And
they do have a lot of
secured.
potential to kill that Poseidon.
I think something really interesting to note there is as soon as those mid camps were gone, Jed and Melbs kind of split up, letting Endless get as much solo farm as he could, you know. Cleared that wave a bit slowly, so Jed was happy enough to take the last 3 minions, but now they're here for the Scorpion spawn.
Yeah, really good map play from Jed to be here for this. It looks like Shellshock should know that they're doing this, since it's exactly what they did game 1. But you see Azrael on the Gaga over there, but he is converging on them. Really nice too from Quickie,
coming out.
and gets the apple on him. And this does get in the air, but Jed might be in some trouble. Yeah, and this just goes to soul lane.
Yeah, he's too tanky to die now. Melbs running in, gets the crack and big damage onto Quickie. Really good ult coming out from Negative Noob to separate Melbs from going any further.
Yeah, where's... I think if the Raven was there, that could have been a really big play for Shellshock, but it looks like he's just not wanting to participate in
Yeah,
this
I mean,
early
this
game.
play is still going on. That Poseidon literally has nothing right now, but
Yeah, a little bit criminal. I do like the play from Shellshock to at least try to get something on that Scorpion play, but you just see Endless playing one of the safest goddess in the game. But
Yeah, and that'll
definitely
be-
could have been a big punish.
double Scorp going the way of Dandy Demons. I believe they secured that first one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got it before the Shellshock boys got there. Looks like Jed getting a cup, or goblet as some people call them, on very low HP. It looks like really good cup control from the demons.
Yeah, almost a solo coming out in the ADC lane there. Tiger Max quite scared of this Kabrakan.
Yeah, not really much the Cabra can do there. No ult. At most, you'd be trying to take that goblet.
Grabbing a cup on the way out. But yeah, he really is just playing that kind of annoy playstyle, you know? He stopped Tiger from being able to walk into their jungle for free, even to look at the Naga and their cups.
Yeah, you even see in the way he's building, getting that Watcher's Gift, you know, not... I believe... I don't know too much about support, but I believe, yeah, there's some protections on it, just lets him be really annoying early game.
It actually forced Endless over for the rotation onto that Naga just in case anything went wrong, but also here for the Oracle timing, so it's just a good
not really missing
coincidence, I guess.
much. There's like Melb's taking the opportunity to get himself a mid-wave and... Ooh. Very... Negative Noob just filling his diaper up as soon as he sees Jed there, just blows the shell.
Little bit upset, a little bit scared.
Yeah.
Still looking for the mid camps is Azrael. Should secure it here. Something I do want to mention that's quite interesting is the arrow onto the Chernobog, just looking to farm, I guess. But that does mean that he won't have any lifesteal in his build unless he opts to kind of go for that maybe late Bloodforge or early Assay.
Yeah. That's kind of pigeonholed the build into RC, like you said, but it was also interesting. It looks like Tiger going Death's Toll H4, so I think you will see Endless go crit and Tiger go maybe pen.
Yeah, well,
oh wait, no, you can get Atalantis. I forgot about that.
Who remembered that's an item, huh? Yeah, it'll be absolutely Atalantis into Fail Not. But
you do see ooh, good, really early use of the escape.
But he should
Could
be
get
out of
ulted.
range of Kabrakan ult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Start dashing to maybe look for the ult, but not finding it.
Yeah, could have maybe been an ult force for Tiger, but that would probably have been about it.
Looking
you
at
do
this gold
see-
period here, early grouping.
Yeah, they can. They have the burn for it, but the fight after could be really disastrous for the demons if
Yeah,
the
I mean, this could be a
Shellshocks
good
go into
contest
this.
if everyone gets into position. Negative Noob just needs to walk up here.
Yeah,
Good ult
nice.
coming out
Keep
from
it all to get them
Quickie.
off it.
And
they
it's
picked
all
it
by
up. They got
Shellshock.
it. That was really good by Shellshocks.
And
So the
really good discipline on the disengage there to just take their win and get out of there as fast as they can. Jed's blown his ult. It's gonna be
You saw-
deforming soon.
yeah, you saw basically everyone. Ooh, beats forced by Endless there by the disco. Good job by her. Looks like Noob might be in some trouble here though. Yeah, that's
I think that was a
gonna
bit of
be
an
second
overcommit
blood.
there.
Yeah. Just as they were disengaging so well, but they did get the Cherno beads, which is something. Looks like
Nice
Azrael
hammer
might be
coming
able
out
to
from
pick him
Jed.
up.
There was a blink into the back line there.
Ooh,
Gonna
nice
clean
pick by
up.
Azrael.
Yeah.
Could maybe go
Poseidon,
for Obviously, he starts
Zoomin
all.
and Schmoovin. Could get either one of them here.
Ooh,
Really
this-
good ult. Doesn't quite find it.
Does he
Three
have
should
the
be coming
free?
up soon.
Ooh.
Oh.
He's
gonna
gonna just
connect that
tower,
one.
but it's gonna be alright. Yeah, nice pick from Azrael to pick up the enemy mid laner, knowing that his beats are forced, and he was pretty oversteps to be honest.
Yeah, and this is really good. He's coming into Melbs' jungle and keeping the pressure on himself. I don't like Quickie backing here. He knows that he's forced Endless to back, and he could have shoved another wave, but instead he's just going to give up that farm to tower.
Good ult by
caught
Ems,
out
that's
in the
gonna
jungle.
be a kill. Yeah, that's just Chernobog diff. But do you see, just going back to that Gold Fury, really nice Cupid ult to force the Faf and Faf to ult and everyone else to go out, so that would reset it, because they won't be able to sign and secure it with that Cupid ult on them. So, and then they just pick it up straight after as soon as they drop it. Really good call by Shell Shocks.
Yeah, and it's good recognition of them all to be around there at the right time, you know. Before, oh, good ult.
And there's a
coming
lot
out.
of trouble. You
Quickie.
have no beads. It's
Yeah,
gets
that was
2v1 the
really
mid.
good play just by Quickie and Negative Noob there to pick up Endless.
Yeah, it looks like he really just wanted his mid wave and didn't want to respect the enemy team. But good recognition from them to pick him up. You see a way better start for Quickie this game. He's actually staying on level. Even playing the late game mage.
Yeah, and you know, he's gonna get out-rotated, and I think he just needs to come to terms with that and kind of pick up whatever farm he can.
Like we said, the Disco, she can't not be getting value on the map. She's always giving her passive to someone. Looks like
Yeah,
King Arthur.
absolutely.
But yeah,
Scorpion gonna be secured, hopefully by the side of Shell Shock. Jed walking into
Jed
4
got
people
it.
here.
Ooh. You can see he was tempted to jump straight in there for that score, but
Oh, there
Alex
was
not
red
too.
in his eyes.
Yeah, see, a 2-level lead in the support role. It's pretty surprising. Like, Sonic out.
No way!
Cha! Making a name for
Oh
himself,
my
soloing
God.
Tiger Max even though he had Itchable.
The Sleepy power rankings have been thrown into shambles.
Yeah, that's gotta be your solo of the week. You're pretty surprising to see him win that fight into a Cribidus with Itchable. Looks like Tiger saved both relics as well.
Yeah, I'm in awe. I was not looking at the health.
Yeah, you sound-
Didn't see anything coming. I'm shivering. I have chills.
Yeah, really nice play from Chai. You just see the Shellshock boys playing a lot better this game too. And it is in that early game. Obviously, he's still behind about 1400 gold, but it's kind of farm diff.
Yeah, a lot slower burn on the Pyro here without the
Yeah.
obviously that Poseidon ult gonna be easy
Ooh.
secure. Azrael diving in. I respect the attempt. I mean, he didn't lose anything for doing it except for like what, a 90-second cooldown. He'll be fine. He'll live.
Yeah, good try, good try. Poseidon not, or pretty much always going to secure that if they do it properly, which the demons did.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the thing is their confidence not waving. You know, to be able to make that play and try to look for more in that, because it was a good situation to go for it. It just nothing happened with it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. You do see Shell Shocks.
Oh.
Not really just. Ooh.
Get him, Negative Noob. Hit him with the Kabrak.
Yes, the
Oh
ult.
no. Oh, Tiger Max. The relic's finally coming out. Maybe he was saving it for the right time.
Yeah. General onto the Shell Shock boys is going to be very slowed by it, and just not choosing to dive in on it. But yeah, you do see saving both his relics did save Tiger there.
Yeah, he blew the ult. I think it was in fear of the Cupid stun, but I don't think he had it. It would have been wasted on the Fields of Love.
Now, I don't mean to go too big on the minutiae of the game, but you do see 2 mana pots on the Charybdis, and she has Death's Toll. It's just one of those
Tiger
things
Max,
just hurts to see.
Is known for his investing and saving skills, so who knows? If he waits till 40 minutes with those mana pots, they might magically transform into a 3k pot.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about wise investing.
Ooh.
Blink coming out from Azrael doesn't quite find it, but once again, they're in their jungle, they're looking for plays, and they're trying to pull the
Yeah.
trigger, and I'll
Good
never have a
try.
problem with that.
You just saw
jumping
Knobs
in.
was very aware that they were going for that. You see
Yeah.
Anderson May getting a lot of damage onto that tower. Might be
Yeah,
getting
level lead
crushed on
coming
that.
out from Char. He's actually in a pretty good spot here. Ult will be
Yeah.
coming up soon, and that Charybdis won't have any relics to blow, and Ult should still be down on her.
Ooh!
Chris getting abs pro, dropping very low.
Yeah, Kraken not quite finishing him. Knobs knows the Raven has no mana, so not really that much of a threat.
Yeah, but that's still just a big dub coming out from the side of Shell Shock, picking it up all over the map. Treb pushing down in mid though could be quite annoying. I think
Ooh, a lot of damage onto
Thinking-
Noob. That Cherno takes so much to him. And you see
Yeah,
the
it was good
Dragon
recognition of
form now.
Endless to dash into the wall. Wasn't tanking tower, so the Disco ult wasn't going to be enough to finish him, but
Yeah,
good attempt.
good try by Quickie to try and peel for his support. You see Melps behind him. No Kraken though, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to pick that up. Instant
Beat's coming out, but
Nice root. And you see the Churn ult coming out, but not sure if not choosing to land on it.
once again,
Yeah.
another ult that never hurts to throw out if there's potential of a kill. That slow in the mitigations can always help.
Yeah, you even seem to have some CDR in the build with the Transcendence.
Yeah, looking like he's opting into a Wind Demon next, trying to commit to a full kind of crit build coming out here. He will be doing a lot of damage coming out, but I would have preferred to see a Fail not just to get that extra cooldown going and make it a bit more global.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
see
that was fast gold.
Yeah, they have the burn, and they also have the secure to the Dande demons, so not really any risk going for that. See Abs Pro getting the tower after respawning.
Yeah, Chris trying to run into him, getting shoved away, rooted, yelled at. I'm not gonna get too much out of that.
Yeah, you see the Shellshock boys are even in kills, and I've done some good stuff this game. You see Quickie even, and Char maybe even a bit ahead, but they are behind a very solid 5k gold.
Well, that just
Yeah,
comes
not
from the
enough.
macro play that
Not
is
so, it
made.
wasn't solid as 4500. Yeah, just you see the difference in the way that the demons play the map.
I think that's the thing that a lot of these top tier teams will do compared to some of the lower end or up and coming teams. They really do tend to find farm where the others won't. Chris in a really bad spot here. Good
Raven ult
mitigation
there.
coming out from the Ravens. Daddy Melb's dropping very
Ooh,
low.
nice push from Abs to peel for his jungler. But it looks like everyone's going to be living here. Maybe Negative Noob has something to say about that, but doesn't look like he's going to catch up.
That was just really good counter engage coming in from Adriel to stop Chris from falling there. The mitigations from the Raven ult really helping out.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was turned into a free pick on the... Looks like Disco might be in trouble here. Looks like she
Yeah,
already used her
Apple
escape.
does connect on Endless. He's a magnet for those.
Yeah, Dragon is coming out. Looks like he shot himself. A few missed autos.
Yeah, and Negative Noob's here to
What's coming out?
help him out. They're
Ooh,
looking to commit onto
Jed's
Quickie, but this
committing.
might be a bad dive if the Cherno decides to go in, but Jed's just up
Doesn't
on
look
his
like
own.
it's just needing support. Ooh,
Melb's
Melb's is
coming out,
back.
big
That's-
Kraken, big Field of Love! Stun on the Endless,
So
Mando
many
Chris is
things.
there, stunned again.
that's Jed gone. Chris is on Endless.
Yeah, that's
That's gonna be his
Agent
dash.
flown by
Azrael blinked
Endless.
in. Beads is
Azrael
the
needs
root.
to get through there. He's gonna get cleaned up here. Pyro is
Yeah.
spawning, Fire is up. Abs Pro is knocking down that wall. Decides that maybe he just wants a bit of farm.
Yeah. Really nice ult from Char there. You really saw him kind of turn that. Looks like they might be converging on Abs Pro, but I just choose to go on the Pyromancer.
Yeah, this could
And,
be danger. Abs Pro can do a lot of damage here and a lot of disruption. Chris doing a really good job at zoning.
I doubt it. Yeah. He has to be careful here as well. He does have Melbs coming to peel for him.
Really nice apple coming out again. Melbs is here to try and help him out.
Ooh.
Sorry, Azrael, not quite gonna connect that ult, but
Yeah.
you know,
Good.
you miss
Good play
100%
from the
of shots
Shellshock
you don't
boys to
take.
punish that over aggression, but you do see Tiger Max just he's playing the game. He's participating.
Tiger
like-
Max, CEO of ADC lane.
Yep. He's
Famous
playing like
kingdom.
he's playing like he could be like 400 ping and it still wouldn't make any difference the way that he's playing this game. Ended up 2 levels up, just staying in his lane.
That's the big problem with the ADC lane is you rotate to help your team, but it's at the cost of putting yourself behind.
Yeah, good play from the Shellshock guys, but does result into getting one of the T2s taken. Chris didn't have TP for it.
Yeah, I think the best play here is for Char to just go and try to farm up, catch his levels back up, and maybe avoid joining in any team fights for a while.
Yeah, it looks like pretty interesting build coming out from him. The Cal into the X and the Kins. Just a lot of shred for like Colin and Fafnir.
Yeah, should be going into a Oboe next, into a Silver Branch.
Could do. Actually, I'd like I think that's the Magi's that gives you a lot of CC protection on Negative Noob. I really like that into the Kraken and the Hammers and the Roots. Just gonna
They're looking to
keep
just
them
let
left
this one rip. They
execution.
see Char over in the left lane.
Yeah, they do. It is a 5v4 and it looks like they're just gonna
Frenzy
keep
has been
burning
popped.
it.
Everything's coming
The
down.
Shellshock boys are there though.
They're heading in
Really
there.
nice
The wall
wall from
has
Negative
been
Noob.
thrown.
Early Kraken and Demons do
Demons
still
are
get it, but
gonna
that was so
secure it.
close. Ooh.
Chris
Nice
will
pick
fall,
on
but
some Elves though. That was really close, but I'm not sure. I think it might have been Whirlpool that got that. Nice dive on from Azrael, but yeah, you see that they don't have an ADC for this.
Yeah.
And as much as we talk, Tiger Max did decide to leave his lane and made a really big impact there while the other ADC was catching up.
It was really good recognition from the demons to kind of notice that Char was in that left lane and how fast they could rip to burn that
Yeah.
fire. You know,
It's
popping the
just-
Fafnir ult, the Frenzy, the Kraken, everything.
Yeah, Azrael falls to Tiger Max there, but yeah, that's just one of the things you have to be really careful playing into with this comp, is just how fast they can burn those objectives. And hopefully secure them, but it was a very close to that secure. No, so maybe not used to doing the mid laner's job.
Yeah, I mean, coming from the jungle, he's probably not used to having to time those properly. I mean, it's not the easiest job at the best of times. There are people who've played mid for years
Yeah.
and still can't do it.
Not naming names, but I liked the walls coming out of negative noob there to cease the DPS and try and steal it. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why the secure is a bit off. It's just kind of causing the enemy team to panic.
Yeah, and those walls coming out in front of the ADC's autos can really kind of throw off your DPS numbers because you do lose a lot of damage of those 3 autos.
It's like you see the Shell Shock guys just really wanting to play into this game, trying to go for that gold fury, even though the enemy team has FG. But it doesn't look like they can posture for it.
Yeah, Char forced to clear this left lane with the Trebuchet coming up. Negative Noob doing his best to just kind of be a presence, keep an eye on the Gold Fury.
He's trying
And to go in there,
Yeah, a bit late.
really late on the ult. Adds a bit of sideburns to the walls already there. Quickie gonna fall here. Endless flying in, gonna try and clean up Chris. Chris will
just
fall.
a very big overcommit from the gang to try and steal a gold fury that, you know, didn't really have that much potential to steal, but
Char, unfortunately, not even able to get the Trebuchet there, so that's going to spell big trouble coming up here, because if
I mean-
demons want to play it slow, they can, but they're going as fast as possible.
yeah, with the double ADC, really don't need to. It's only 2 people up for Shell Shocked.
Yeah, Ab's doing a really good job at zoning.
Yeah, good for Avs. Oh, sorry, that flick shot from negative noob. It's gotta be a high, but it does look like the demons are going for the end. Huge keep it all, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. Pops into the whole back line. Forces a lot of beads.
Everyone at about half
Moves
health.
back. Yeah, just insta-dies as well. Chad does get the kill on Gen 9. This Titan isn't falling that fast. Astral falling really low, but Tiger Max is in their backline, diving. Surely getting punished here. Looking for the kill onto Azrael. Not sure if he's gonna. Oh, gets it with the 2. It's trying to ult out, but surely gets picked up by Char here. Ooh,
Good chase
nice
down.
push. Yeah. So yeah, not an end. They did end up getting the duo side Phoenix though.
I thought, maybe I wasn't looking properly, but I thought the Titan did drop a bit. Maybe it could have been an end if,
Yeah, I think they got
Yeah.
it. It's a bit below half HP, but then you saw very low respawn times coming out of Shell Shocks. They were just all up in time.
yeah, so I guess the next play here is clean up the map, get yourself the gold, get 20, get Pyro, set up for your Fire Giant, and then take what you can.
Yeah, but big ups to Char playing really well this game. You saw that Cupid ult pretty much just saved them the game. Popped on the entire enemy team's backline. It's actually 4-0 even though his team's losing.
I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, the Deathless Cupid here, and he has been playing lights out. We were talking so much about Chris, and in the first game it really was the Chris show, but here it's definitely turned into the Cha-Cha.
Yeah, it's definitely trying to keep his team in it. You see I think Quickie and Azrael both played a lot better this game as well.
No, I think the
kinda-
whole team has played quite well. I think Negative Noob has been trying his best to do what he can, but just not quite finding the correct engages or moments, and he's been punished for it, but I do like where his head's at.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Magi's pickup a lot, but it is always just difficult playing a tank into a Poseidon comp. Eats you alive.
Yeah. Melb's trying to do a little cheeky one here, doing his best Robbie impression, trying to get the corner bait, but nothing coming out.
Yeah, it looks like Boys should really just be waiting for FG to come up. Should be almost flashing now, if not already almost up.
Yeah, and we
it'll
see
be
20
upset.
coming out from a lot of the members on the side of Dande Demons now. Bluestone upgraded for Abs, not quite upgraded anything on the side of Endless and Melbs.
Yeah, Tiger finishing his build is pretty big. You see him skipping lifesteal entirely, which is not something common for the player. Usually, quite a few lifesteal items. You see him getting that embrace on late just to keep himself healthy.
Yeah, one of the best items you can get on Charybdis, though, that triple shot with the on-hit.
Holy cannoli, look at that FG, it is...
Sorry, I blinked.
Oh,
Where
God
did it
forbid.
go?
Yeah, boys definitely looks like they're being more careful to secure that time. Big disco too onto the backline, but doesn't really look
Yeah.
like it's going to be enough. Azrael dying
There's also
fall.
a massive ult from the Chernobyl
No,
coming
Cha.
in to slow
Cha.
people. Cha will fall finally. First
Yeah.
one of the game.
You see, just kind of just looks like a lack of experience from Shellshock there, just in how they wanted to go about taking the FG fight, which is fair enough. But looks like Demons should be able to win here, maybe. Oh my god! What a disco too, but not going to be enough to stop the Demons picking up the game, and that's going to be a quick 2-0 for them.
Yeah, I think walking away from this game, you're not too unhappy. Especially if you're Char, Chris, or Azrael. Azrael, the second game, as well with Char. They were playing really, really well. Looking for their engages, picking their fights. Char coming through with a solo kill onto Tiger Max. Not what I expected going into this set, and I have really enjoyed watching this. Well played to both teams.
Definitely a lot of positive to be taking from that if you're shell-shocked. Go into the coming weeks, just fighting into some of the lower end teams. Yeah, I think that's something that can honestly give them confidence, just taking that loss pretty well. But yeah, well played to the Demons. So them just play their comp really well. But I do believe it's that special time of the day where we throw it over to the analysts. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Snowy and Vintage, for casting that set. And wow, Shellshocked really, really turned up in that second game. Some, even at a point where they were 6 or 7k gold behind, did everything they could to catch up and started controlling the game on that fight, and then picking up the Pyromancer. Char also really, really turning up big there. But Dandy Demons had the pressure from the early game. Abspro doing really well. Tiger Max on that Charybdis actually rotated, and yeah, Dandy Demons 2-0 in this set.
Hi, I'm Lath.
Hi, this is Lath. You can talk for a second, I need a second.
Yeah, so interesting game. In the end, relatively clean from the boys of Dandy Demons. But I mean, I think as much as this is their victory, I got to talk the praises of Shellshocked here. Stepping up to what we all assume was a bit of a stronger team. And they all definitely had their moments. Game one, a bit of a rough one, but this game two was a lot better. Obviously, Char with that huge solo kill. Quickie was doing well throughout a lot of the early middle phases of the game to stay in the game. Pumped out a lot of damage at the end, never fell behind. Actually had a lead for I think most of the game over Endless, really until those big group fights. And
Yep.
Az really made his presence felt as well, which is what I was really hoping to see. I was sad we didn't see him on the Cabrakan, but I did like the Raven.
Yeah, I have to say that he was very impressive on that Raven, and he made some very spicy plays, a lot of good ultimates used, and realizing that, you can kind of just spam it when you need to and provide a little bit of extra support for your team using that one, not just use it to chase the kills down. But yeah, I mean, Shellshock really turned up there. I'm definitely impressed by... my fingers are really cold, it's hard to type. By Dandy Demons for their work, of course. They took the set and played incredibly well, but I think that we're seeing a lot of signs of life out of this Shellshock team and potentially learning a lot from playing into these upper teams like Dandy Demons here.
Yeah, look, it's only up from here for Shellshocked. I think we're seeing a lot of improvement from them week by week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think early on we never would have expected as good a showing as this. But yeah, each week they just seem to be improving. They're taking on feedback. They're working together. They're talking through, and yeah, I'm very excited to see how this team ends up by the end of the season.
Absolutely agree with you there, and GG to both teams for sure. We are running the MVP vote right now. We'll have a interview with whoever wins that one. Looks like it's a bit of a close, so we'll wait a little bit longer and might take a short break before our next set of the night.
Yeah, I'm curious, Dice.
Yes.
Who's your MVP after this set?
It's a bit of a hard choice, hey. I'd like to say... I'm going to say Tiger Max because he actually rotated multiple times.
I mean, he was just a dominant force in that first game, in that duo lane. Like, as far as the first game goes... but even then, I think people just absolutely overlooked Melbs in that first game.
And Melbs, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Jed played lights out on this Horus, but Melbs was, I think he was 10-0-4 on the Nemesis.
Yeah,
He was
that's
only
true.
only a couple thousand damage below Tiger Max.
And
And in this meta, junglers aren't really dishing out that much damage. So considering how
Yeah.
huge Tiger Max was on that Oleron, the fact that Melbs was pumping such big numbers, like, and I mean a relatively clean game on the Poseidon as well. So I do think Melbs is my vote.
That's fair. I think the reason I'm so impressed with Tiger Max at the moment is that really critical play that he made by pushing that left side tower down and forcing Char to get a little bit further behind, made Char then go, okay, I need to catch up, I need to sit and farm myself. And the moment that they noticed that Char was over there, that Tiger Max had forced him into that position, that the entirety of the Dande Demons went straight to Fire Giant to pick it up and force that 4v5. So yeah, impressive
that is true. I do think a lot of this, the survivability from Shell Shocked came from what Char was bringing to the table, and the second that he wasn't in those team fights, well, the second he was in the team fights, they were turned and they started
Yep.
winning, and then the
Yep.
second he left, that's when it all kind of went pear-shaped. So that is a good point.
Well,
I do think we have a few Abs fanboys in the chat, which is a bit unfortunate considering the fact that Abs did kind of get soloed
he did get
by
soloed by
Chris
Commandorcus,
very
but
early on,
I
as Arthur into Odin.
I could take a guess as to why Abs is winning this MVP vote. Fantastic showing on that. Kakala did an excellent job zoning in multiple scenarios and pumping out the damage, especially towards the late game stages. Abs Pro, you are MVP for this set. If you're in the chat, please come and join us for your interview if you want to. I'm going to add him as well.
Dude, I think every single Dandy Demons MVP is just going to be an Abs interview, isn't it?
We might have to shake out how we do MVP votes or something, because that it's not going to get boring anytime soon. But Abs might get sick of it at some point.
Well, I mean, Abs is got to eventually run out of things to talk about, right? I do
doubt it.
see him. Abs is standing by for the interview. We will get him in. Hello, Abs. Congratulations on the win and the MVP.
Hey gentlemen, how are we?
Oh, fantastic! So lovely to see you play.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was a fun set. I think both teams kind of learned a lot into comps, and really good showing from Shell Shocked. Really impressed with how they played coming into us. Yep.
Yeah,
Look, Abs,
yeah, go on.
I know you're feeling really high right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the lumberjack axe and cut you right down. How did it feel getting soloed by Chris that early on?
I didn't say it to my team, but as is correct with the tilt tier list, I very much tilted at myself. I only said maybe 10 other words for the rest of that game one. I didn't say anything after that. And, you know, I got very tilted myself because, you know, it's just like one misstep is all it takes to get soloed in that solo lane. So I went into game two knowing, you know what, it's going to happen this game. I'm going to do it. And I did get the return solo kill.
You did everything you could to get that kill as well.
Not only that,
I
but it
felt
was
a lot better after that return solo kill.
yeah, under the tower and everything as well, and into again. Funny enough, Arthur the one being soloed both times when he's generally a very hard to kill target.
Maybe not so much within an Odin cage. But very much so. In that early game, can get kind of punished. So no, well done to Chris. I kind of really respect what he's able to bring, and congratulations to how well they played.
Yeah,
Humble as ever. Humble as ever.
Yeah, that's very true. Wins the MVP vote. Congrats to the other team.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's it. We got to think about how well they played into it, and I'm sure you guys, being the eye in the sky, really saw how well they played.
Yeah, for the most part, since the end of that game, we've been talking a fair bit about that team and how well Char especially played on that Cupid in the second game. But I did want to focus in on you guys. Obviously, fantastic showing. Really critically as well, you were playing very hard for those Scorpions. It looked like your macro play focus was entirely based on Scorpions and objectives as often as you could. Where's that sort of coming from, and who's kind of controlling that call to go straight to those Scorps?
There's no other player on this earth that's going to call Scorpions more than Jed.
Good.
We're all counting up to when Cups are spawning, and he goes, "All right, boys, get ready. We're walking into this side of the jungle." And, you know, we always have 3 to 4 people there on that Scorpion. And I'm sitting in solo like, "Guys, you need me?" Nah, we'll be right. And they clean it up every time. So that's definitely Jed calling those calls. And I will say Endless has had a bit of a voice as well on these Scorps. So I will say a good mention to End too.
My lord, Twitch chat is popping off for you right now, just by the way.
Yeah, so
Oh, wow.
Jed's an interesting one. I wanted to talk a little bit more about Jed. What's it like having someone? Because I know what he's like with these shot calls. What's it like having someone like that who's so determined? He knows what he wants to do every game, and he's always making those calls and frontlines really well. How much easier does it make your job?
It makes us feel very comfortable. I won't lie. You know, it's just kind of the inter. It helps us really makes our decisions. You know, Jed saying, "All right, guys, you know, we've got golden 30 seconds. Let's start rounding up," and we're all like, "All right, no worries. Yep, no worries." So we don't even have to think about it. Jed's doing the thinking for us, and you know, we kind of follow up on what he's calling. He starts screaming a god name, and you know, they're dead within 5 seconds. So, definitely someone that makes our comms perfect.
Love
Yeah,
to see it.
Yeah, very strong. And you know, you and him both strong driving forces as to why this Dandy Demons team is looking so good right now. I'm sure.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, we're doing really well. I think the boys have really come together in the last 2 or 3 weeks at the start of the OCL, and I think we're only on the up from here.
Absolutely fantastic. And Snowy Vintage, anything you want to add to this interview? Any questions that you've got for Absy here?
No, I just want to congratulate you on the win. Very well done.
Well, I have something to add, so I think Snowy should shut up.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to ask, going into the season, picking up Endless in the mid lane, someone that we've both played with in the past, how'd that feel? Just clicking in that piece for the team.
You know, having Endless with me in the past has always been good. Being at a young age, season 4, season 5, I had N with me for a very long time, and I think it's just comforting for the both of us having someone that we both know in these team fights, and we're so used to what each other can pull out. So, yeah, no, definitely. I really like Endless where he is now. I think he meshes well, especially with Melbs in these like mid to late game team fights. So, yeah, no, really liking how En's meshing with the team.
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect.
Fantastic stuff. All right, GG Abs. Can't wait to have you back on the cast again. Hopefully, we'll see you shortly, and good luck next week with your with your next set.
No worries, thanks, boys. Just want to shout out Tiger Max not going for the Titan. That's game 2. Our comms were very different after that point in the game. So
He made a call.
he made a call for the play damage, and it didn't work out for him. Unfortunate, but we won the game. So it is what it is.
All right, thank you very much, Abs. Have a good night, man.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Abs.
See ya.